Yo, 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 yo,
Yay!
what's up, what's up, what's up? My name is Emoji. I'm here with my co host, OMW, Nikki G, and together we're bringing you a little something we like to call Anime After Hours. Let's go. All right.
Yay!
So I want to say I'm hyped tonight. I'm hyped tonight because we're continuing this journey down Crunchyroll nominees. And this show that we're going to be reviewing today or talking about today is a sleeper. Is a sleeper. So me and OMW have seen it. Nikki hasn't, but our job is going to be trying to convince Nikki to see if maybe she might want to check this show out. So are you ready? Are you ready? OMW, are you ready to accept this assignment?
I hope so. I hope
Okay.
so.
Okay. All right. All right. So we'll do that. But before we get into that, we do have a message from our supporters, VV Digital Collectibles. So let's get into that and then we will get into the show. Hey, what's up? My name is Emoji, and I'm here with Nikki G and OMW, and we're bringing you Anime After Hours. But before we do that, I want to give a brief shout out to our affiliates, VV Digital Collectibles. VV is the world's home of premium collectibles, comics, and artworks from brands that you love, like Viz Media, Marvel, Star Wars, Disney, and more. Take your collecting to the next level with VV Digital Collectibles and check out the link in our description box below or use the QR code that you see on the screen for $10 off your first purchase.
This is an interactive show and podcast recorded live in front of an online audience. Those in the crowd on X are welcome to join in on the conversation, but know that all conversations that take place during the show will be published across multiple platforms. With this being a live interactive show and podcast, please be mindful of your speech.
And now, let's get back to the show. Okay, okay. Oh, why am I looking down? Okay, there we go. We're back. We're back at it again. What's up, everyone? We are back live, Anime After Hours
Yay!
in the building, talking Clevatess. But before we do that, we do have our main hidden door giveaway that I will go over the rules for in just a sec. Let me just confirm with Dub to see if we are good on that. Were you able to post or draft the hidden doors on Dub? If not, I'll just fill for time.
That will be up in just a moment or three.
Awesome. Awesome. Appreciate that. All right. So, welcome everyone to the show. You guys, we do have a giveaway as part of the show every single week. Actually, we have multiple potential ones, but we have one guaranteed. So, in just a sec, we will have at the top the hidden doors. Now, what you guys as the audience choose throughout the night is which door we enter into. Hidden door number one, hidden door number two, and hidden door number three. Now, what's behind those doors is going to be how we determine the winner of the giveaway for tonight. One potential way of winning is by liking and reposting the space. Another way is by liking and reposting the live stream. And a third way is by commenting in the live stream, tag one person and tell us your favorite anime. If the comments are selected, each comment is one entry, which means the more comments you have, the more likelihood you have of winning. So throughout the show, feel free to cast your vote on which door we will enter into, and by the end, we will decide what will be the way that we determine the winner tonight based off of your selection of the doors. Now, for tonight, what we will be covering is we are going to continue our talk in regards to Crunchyroll nominees. And last week we covered Takapi's Original Sin. Today we are going to be covering Clevatess.
Yay!
All right. So, um, one thing that I thought was interesting about this show, right? And just Dub, just give me the cue once you're ready to dive into the conversation. I know you're setting up the doors, but
Oh, doors are done. I'm ready.
they're done.
Pin to the top. Streams
Oh,
up top.
oh, snippety snap. Okay, let's go. All right, so let's dive in. So on Dub, bro, like one thing that I thought that was really interesting or that stood out to me first and foremost about this show is the technique that they use to make certain things look old. Right? Like this played a lot on 90s, like 80s, 90s anime stylistically, and there was even points in it where flashbacks were made to look like you were watching something from the 80s or 90s. So that was the first thing that actually caught my attention, because I thought that was very unique. But what about you, as far as just different things in regards to the animation that you thought was unique, and then we'll dive into the story, or things that stood out to you.
Honestly, it the the action and gore in episode 1 to, you know 1 to 5 was quite nice to see. Sorry, it was quite nice to see. So I think that's pretty much what hooked me. Honestly, it
Hmm.
it was nothing out of the realm of my normal watch. It seemed good. The visuals seemed fairly crisp. Uh, yeah. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. No.
What happened?
Nothing. Just anime things are happening in the world. In the world. Actually just stumbled across a post from good old Logan Paul.
Oh, snippety snap. That has been all over my timeline. Um,
The one from yesterday or the one from 9 hours ago? Because
you're talking about him doubling down?
the double down. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I saw that too. I saw that too. The
Yeah.
overwhelming positive response that he got across the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
man. I mean, we could talk about that too. Get into some anime discussions or manga discussions. But yeah. So, but the show, it does take you by surprise, right? It is very shocking, especially that first episode. Where there's a lot of gore, but this show, I mean, it's a cine, right? But for those not listening, it's a dark fantasy, right? Where you're in this world where these people are different races, are confined to this small area of where to live on the map, because the vast majority of the rest of the world is this dark area that's ran by these dark beasts, four dark beasts in general. So, mankind, they have this hope or idea to one day be able to see the world or broaden their horizons, but obviously someone has to do something about these dark beasts. So they have these heroes that come together, and this isn't too much of a spoiler. I could say the first episode, right on the, like, it's not that's not really a spoiler.
Yeah, I think episode 1 is
All right.
decent.
All right.
You don't spoil too much.
All right, they send heroes in to try and take out one of the dark beasts, and they get massacred. Every last one of them, they all die, in a very brutal way. And it's crazy because so they go after Clevatess, right? Who's one of the dark beast rulers. And when this happens, not only does Clevatess kill all the soldiers that they're after, and shout out Vivi Handle in the chat, was good. Not only does Clevatess
Yay!
kill all the soldiers, he goes to the kingdom. He slides on the kingdom and destroys the entire kingdom, the king, everyone, right? Um, because they sent the soldiers against them, and right when he's leaving, there's this one young girl, or young girl, who is has this baby, and she's pleading with Clevitas to take the baby and raise it. He's like, "Why would I do that? I literally just killed all of you guys. Why are you giving me a baby?" And the girl with her dying breath says, "This baby will surprise you. Just try it and see." And he's like, out of curiosity, he takes the baby. But obviously, him being a beast, he doesn't know what to do with the baby. So, what he decides to do is revive one of the soldiers that he killed, that's female, to help. Well, first, he tries to get them to nurse the baby, but she's not nursing. So, he finds out that that's not possible. But to also kind of like just care for the baby and in a human.
Bro, you're going past episode 1, G.
That's Pat. I thought this was all episode one. This was all episode one.
All right, all right.
I think so, right?
Sure, sure. Just run it.
So you have this band, and then Clevatess turns into a human form, and that that starts your band of of characters where the soldier is the slave of Clevatess. Clevatess is traveling with them in human form, and he's learning about humankind while trying to raise this baby. But they go through a whole bunch of different things. They go through getting caught by bandits. They go through a lot of things that bring Clevitas into what the real world looks like. And you have this character, the human character, that's trying to balance out as far as like, well, his perception of the human world is going to determine whether he destroys mankind on a whole or not. So it's an interesting dynamic, but owned up, right? So going into the storyline, I know you said it kicked off with you were shocked by the violence, and it is very shocking at the beginning, but getting into this world, what were your thoughts as you kind of like immersed yourself in this world that was developing?
I thought it was uh man, it was pretty common, but like a different twist, right? Because
Hmm.
we're seeing it from the eyes of like the supervillain, experimenting with this little weak baby thing for some reason. For
Hmm.
some reason. Um ah, there's so much that that happens. I don't want to spoil it because it's such a good show and it's only like 12 episodes long so far. So,
Maybe we
just
should
going.
like cap it at like 5 or something. If he's like, if we can't talk about any spoilers at all, let's just.
Up to episode 5. Yeah, I think that's a good, because a lot happens, right? So even
Yeah,
at 5
yeah.
there's a
I think that's a good.
yeah.
I think that's a great call. Um, so I think it's I think it's. Oh, hold on. I got like eight clicks. I gotta jump into. All right, I think it was a great watch for what we saw. We got to
Hmm.
see we got to see a different perspective than we usually do, and we're also getting to see this demon grow, or this what would you call Clevitas?
Clevitas, a dark beast. He's a dark
A
beast.
dark Okay, a dark beast. You get to see this beast grow and learn human emotion and what is important to humans and why.
Hmm.
Doesn't really know why quite yet, but he's slowly learning. Um, Even the way that it ended, right? Like even the way that the show ended was very interesting. Ooh, God, it was crazy. You seen the end, right?
Yeah, well for season 1, yeah. I
Yeah,
finished
yeah,
the whole
yeah.
season. Hmm.
So like I wasn't expecting season one to end like it ended. Like that last episode and a half, I was like, oh shit, talking mushrooms. What's good? What's gonna happen?
Hmm.
Yeah, very very crazy
The thing
plot twist.
Yeah, the thing about this show is there's a lot of building. There's a lot of world building in the show. And when I talk about these different races and classes of people, like the best way that I could think of it is even to the level of like a Game of Thrones, where you have all of these different, race worlds and races and stuff like that, and people from different areas, and they having their own place in the world and society. And one thing that I thought was interesting too is when we're talking about connecting with the characters, and also just connecting with the world. Let's focus on even Clevitus, right? The main character. He obviously starts out as the bad guy, right? Like you have these soldiers, or these heroes is what they call them, that go to kill him, and they're slaughtered. And he goes in and slaughters a whole kingdom ultimately. So he is the monster. And you kind of think of, well, if this is the main character, then why am I going to be invested in this main character? Why should I care about this main character? Because he's the villain. But as the show goes on, you kind of like, it puts you in the lens of Clevites, or Clin is his human name that he goes by. him discovering mankind and him kind of like growing in his own appreciation, right? And his own um concern for people, right? There's and once again, this is a very mature show, so they do discuss trafficking, right? Like they have slaves in this, and one of the people that they end up finding as a someone to nurse the baby is someone that was a slave. And he's in this environment where he's talking to this woman, and he's seeing, even though these people are treating her like garbage, but how beautiful of a person this is, right? And how her heart is, and how she wanted to care for the babies, and that's what she felt was was the thing that she could do to help the world, is care for these babies that are being brought into it under obviously very unfortunate circumstances. But um but yeah, so it's interesting because like I said, you start out with this villain, but then you end up caring for the people around him in this world because you care for them through him, through his lens and his discovery of people. uh what did you think of, like, just the characters or even the character dynamic?
I thought the character dynamic was like really interesting because you had this like demon lord,
Mm-hmm.
or dark beast, uh become like a glorified babysitter, you know,
Mm-hmm.
but as a like social experiment, for lack of better words.
Yeah, he was
Uh,
literally just doing it because, like, he had nothing else better to do. He was like, "All right, I guess I'll
I'm
see what
bored. Like,
happens."
yeah, yeah. Let's see what this little
He's
baby
like,
does.
he's like, "I
You
was
know,
just gonna kill the human race, but you know what? I mean, I guess I could put that on hold and see what happens with this baby. See what this baby
like
does."
all of humanity too, which is
Yeah,
like
yeah,
the
he definitely
wild
was
part.
gonna. Yeah.
Um, but then it also brings up the question, like, does Clevitas really have that much power to destroy the the human world? Especially since we saw some battles a little bit later on in the show
Mm-hmm.
that could have proven to be a challenge for him. So,
And I thought about that too, but I think that they depower him a lot because of, one, because of the human form that he takes, which, they explain it, that's why it depowers him a lot. But even there's a scene where someone gets the better of him in his full, like, beast form. But he even says, he's kind of like, they didn't even really trap me. Like, they thought they did, but that was just, a decoy or something like that. So I don't feel like we honestly even scratched the surface of how strong Clevitis really is. I mean, we saw a glimpse of it when he destroyed a whole kingdom, but remember, like, he took out a whole kingdom, right? All by himself. He just rolled through with ease. So I mean, I don't
overnight, yeah.
overnight, right? And so I don't know. I think if he wanted to destroy the world, I think he could. I think he would only run into issue if he had issues with other dark beasts. And I mean, obviously watching the show, you realize that could be a thing. But just humankind on a whole, right? Like, I don't think he would have any problem just wiping out humanity.
Yeah, I'm not 100%
You're not
sure, man.
100% sure.
I'm not 100% sure, man,
Well, you
like,
have the magic users, right? And that was another part of the thing, right? Like, the Dark Beast weren't familiar with magic, so he was learning that, right? So that would have been something that could have taken him off guard.
yep. Yep.
What it?
You, you, you
Mm-hmm.
see, now another thing is like, uh the if they don't know about magic to the degree that they currently have it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, they don't understand the level difference between a new mage versus, like an S
Seasoned.
tier, yeah, an S
Yeah.
tier seasoned mage who, they got the whole squad. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I think it could be very, very, very interesting as time progresses in this show.
Mhm.
Because like who was it? What man? It was that show that you were telling me about, like the Shadow Demons or whatever.
Demons of the Shadow Realm,
Demons of the Shadow Realm, right? Like
which I do have to ask Nikki, have you watched that yet?
Yes,
What do you think?
it's very good.
we'll, we'll talk about that in a bit too. But
Hiromu doesn't miss. What are you talking about?
yeah, no, I'm enjoying that show. But what were you saying, Dub?
it just reminds me of like Left and Right, right? Like Left and Right, they're just like, oh, what's this thing? Oh, this is magic. This is what you guys have, or um, Free Ren. Boom, perfect example. Free
Mm-hmm.
Ren. When they're like, oh, this is the level of your magic nowadays, and like Fern was able to just like smoke Old Boy from way, 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 way back,
Mm-hmm.
because the technology or the humanity progressed far enough along in their magic capabilities to like what was powerful back then. It's not the same, you know.
Mm. Yeah. True. 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 I wanted to ask Nikki because you said that there was a viral. So I'm not sure as far as what viral clip you were talking about, but if you wanted to tell us, because I mean, seeing the show, I probably would know what you're talking about, but I'm not sure what went viral or why.
It was I think her name is Nell, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
is the clip that I kept seeing over and over and over again, like her backstory, what happened to her in in like her introductory episode and stuff like
Okay.
that. Yeah, that was for some, I guess because it resonated a lot with people. It was really dark and hurtful
That
and
thing
Yeah.
was
sad.
sad.
It's
Yeah.
really sad. And so I think I guess it stood out. So that was the one that I kept seeing for like when the show was airing for some reason.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. It's one of the darker parts of this season,
I also
and
think it's because
mhm.
she's innocent, kind of like all the thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like she, from what I could gather from just like seeing that clip, those horrible things that were done to her, but she still was like just an innocent person on the inside.
Yeah. Yeah, and that was one thing that with the main character Clevatess, that was one thing that made him think about humans in a different light, right? Because you think about it, he came there with the reason to kill humanity because he thought that they were all atrocious. He thought they were horrible creatures and all needed destruction. So this was opening for him, and I want to say this was probably the first person that he met in the show that made him give a second look at humanity because I before that he killed everyone, right? The baby obviously is a baby, so it can't make him think any differently. And even the girl that he revived, right? He had killed her. So and she was only really his slave. So it was kind of like he wasn't really picking up much from her, and this Nell was the first person that he really got to talk to her, and because he asked her, he was like, why don't you just leave, like why don't you just run away? And he even offered, he was like, look, come with me, and I'll get you out of here so you don't have to be a slave. And then she was like, but what about the babies that need me, and the
Yeah.
babies that won't be able to eat because like I'm the one that's responsible for nursing them. Meanwhile she's suffering torture every day. And that was something that Clevitas just didn't understand at first. And he had to ask. He was like, why would she refuse this? Like she's living a horrible life. And I think that was the first thing that really made him look at humanity differently than how he did, at the beginning. Omdub, did you want to say something?
Yeah, no, I think Nell definitely opened up his eyes a good amount. Like out of everyone that he's interacted with so far in the show, besides this baby, I think Nell was the first time that he's actually opened his eyes and actually had any sort of like compassion. Cause like even his slave, like he he don't care for her, like at all.
Hmm.
He's like, oh, I need you. Okay, bet. Otherwise, it's like, yeah, yeah.
And even and the crazy thing about it is she's not like she's a good person, right? And but that's something else that they find out through their working together as a team and their camaraderie. But like even her, like she came there to kill Clevatess, but like she's also a very good, pure-hearted person too. And you see her whole backstory with her dad and even the villain, like the villain I'd say of this season, he was fleshed out, right? Like there were episodes where he didn't feel like a villain at all. He felt more like someone that was being manipulated. And I think that this show did a really good job, not only with world building, but also with building the characters, right? Uh, mhm.
I'm gonna say because it's fantasy, and you said there's world building and there's characters. How would you? So I'm assuming the pacing is very good.
Yeah,
It's fair. It's
yeah,
It's
fair.
fair.
I'd say it's better than Free Run. I'd say it has better pacing than Free
Oh
Run,
yeah,
but
yeah.
Free Run is also like a slow burn where it's kind of like you're supposed to just take your time through it. This is more, there's a lot more action in it, right? But I'd say that yeah, the pacing is it's a good pace.
Well, because the second season's coming out, so I'm just trying to like kind of put my mind around how because fantasy is you have to have so much. There's so much information that you need to have when you have a fantasy story,
Yeah,
and then you
this
don't want it. You don't want to be like dumped on, you know.
hmm well this show honestly feels like because of the depth of even just the world that they're building right now, this feels like it could be like 12 seasons.
I think the
You
manga's
think
still
so?
going.
Yeah, yeah, I think that this could be like a 12 season like huge thing, right? But once again, it's the pacing is still it still moves at a, relatively quick pace where it doesn't feel too much like a slow burn, but it still takes the time to let you experience the world, right? But remember, you've only been in a small fraction of it, right? Like,
Yeah.
there's a few handful of characters that you meet, but there's a lot still that you haven't explored yet in this world. And I feel like, if this continues, this could be a very lengthy anime.
Okay.
If it makes money.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and that has to also, do with how it does, right? And with this show, one thing that I will say, as far as sleeper hits, even when you look up reviews and stuff like that, everyone has pretty positive things to say about the show, right? Like I haven't seen not one negative review of this show. Um and I think that if it gets that, especially if it takes home, an award or, then I think that that would definitely push it toward. I could see it getting a bigger budget. Um, but you know what else is interesting though too? Is they do and it's what I started out with, right? They do that thing where they deliberately downgrade the quality or yeah, I'd say the resolution, not the qual. Like the animation is still good animation, but it's like, what if you could have today's animation, but looking at it from the lens of like the '90s, right? So they do this thing. It's almost like a filter that's put over it, but it's like a what's like the 480p filter or whatever the SD resolution is. Um, but they do that for flashback sequences, and they do that for certain things, and it's more of kind of like an artistic touch. Uh, but I mean, that probably could help with budgeting, but it still has a reason in the show. It's not like what's that show? Beyond the World's End or was that
Uh,
the show?
oh, oh,
The one with
beginning,
really bad animation.
uh, oh, beginning after the
Beginning
end.
after the end. Yeah, yeah.
Oh
It's
my
not
goodness,
it's not like that. It's
that
not
just
like that.
killed me.
It's not- but it's deliberate. It's to make you feel like you're like it's more of an aesthetic thing where they'll do certain things to make you feel like you're watching that classic 80s 90s show. But it's purposeful. So that could help with budget maybe.
Hopefully, we'll just have to wait and see, right? I mean, what was it? Was it One Punch Man that got for
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
the
season
animation?
Season
3 got
3.
massacred.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, and season one and season two was pretty good. Like season one had pretty damn good animation.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What was the time difference between 2 and 3? Was it a big difference?
Nah, no.
I don't think
Really?
so.
Yeah, it was less than a year, I believe.
I don't know. Like, I remember when One Punch Man first came out and it was like everywhere and everybody was talking about it, and then kind of just died out.
Yeah, I thought it
Yeah,
was only going to be one season. Cuz I didn't know where they would go after that. I was just like,
Yeah,
I was like
that's
how mhm.
that's like the problem when they start doing these stories like midway through, is you don't know how, like, where the popularity is going to be. You don't know where the story's going to take them. And I mean, because they don't make anime like they did in the early 2000s and the 90s, we're not in like a filler trap anymore. But also, waiting this long in between seasons is also going to just bring the hype down no matter what.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
That's
just
true.
that's just what's going to happen. And I
That's
think,
true.
yeah, but I think it's worth it though, because like at that point, whenever a new season drops, like I don't know if it's just me or I just have a problem, but I'll just rewatch the show. Like,
no, 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 I get it. I'm sure a lot of people are like that, but I mean, a lot of people are also just not going to care anymore.
Yeah, it depend for me, it depends on how long it takes. Like if it and that's ultimately what happened to me with Link Click because I really, really liked Link Click.
oh, Link
And
Click was
then
good.
yeah,
Fuck.
but it took so long for the newest season to come out. And then it starts off very slow too. So it's just kind of like I want to get through this because I really like the show, but it took longer than the hype that I had like right after I finished watching season 2.
I mean, this show has 12 volumes of manga to work through, so I mean, they could go for a while
Yeah.
if like, it depends on how much money they're making in Japan mostly.
Yeah.
I mean, if
Yeah.
the West really likes it, that's great, but I mean, it depends on how popular it is in Japan.
Yeah, and I hope it grows with popularity because it is a solid show. I'm liking it. It's Are you Nikki? Do you typically like fantasies or dark fantasies or
I mean, the gore aspect kind of interests me a little bit, but
mhm
not. But I'm not really like into battle gore. I'm more into like body horror gore.
mhm
Um, but I don't know. I don't know. It looks interesting. I don't. I'm not a huge fan of youngish looking main characters.
oh with clever, but I mean that's the
I know
form he
that's not what he
takes,
really
but
looks
yeah
like. I know he
yeah
looks like a giant wolf thing,
yeah
but but for me that's kind of like points off. Like I don't really like the slime show because I don't really like how the main character looks either.
got it got it
You don't
got it
like
got it.
reincarnated as a slime?
If
Oh
it's
my goodness.
if it's any if it's
But I
any
get it.
if it's any consolation, he does still keep that dark aspect of him because I mean, remember he is,
Yeah, yeah. It's
so
like it's like a disguise. I
yeah.
definitely get that.
And there's a lot of times he gives that creepy, sinister smile because like if he wanted to, he could just kill everyone around him.
Yeah, I
Um,
understand. I get that.
but yeah, I mean, if you do end up checking it out, like I think I would be interested in hearing your thoughts on it because I think that this show has a lot of potential, especially with as much content in the source material exists, and seeing what they're doing with the world, and even outside of just the world that we know, like the human world that we know, because the dark beast realm is a whole other thing, and yeah, I can see this becoming pretty massive as far as in the
Did you read it?
scale. I didn't, but if it takes too long, I might. I've started. Yo, you know what I did? Okay, okay. So look, 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 look. I because I liked and going back to demons or daemons of the Shadow Realm. I like that first episode so much. I actually started reading the manga.
Oh, you pulled a me. Good job.
I did, I did, I did. So I started reading the manga, and but here's the thing. Here's the thing that threw me off. So I was reading the manga, and then like I missed like an episode or two, so I had to go back and I didn't know whether I missed one episode or two episodes because when I started it up again, everything was familiar. I was like,
Yeah.
wait, I think I saw this. Wait, no, I didn't. I think I
No,
read this.
no,
No,
I
I think
just
I.
read it.
Yeah. So so that was a
That's how
thing.
I watch most everything. So.
Yeah. But I wanted to do it because I mean that's that's typically how it's done in
That's what they
Japan.
want you
You
to
know.
do.
Yeah.
That is the whole point.
Yeah.
The
So
whole point is for you to read the manga.
yeah, so I wanted to kind of like get that experience, especially with this being a new show, right? I was like, all right, well, this is an easy one to do because and the manga's still, is like what
Yeah,
20
so big.
something chapters in it or something or like that.
I think it's farther than that, but I think Crunchyroll manga only has it up to like 20 something.
Okay, all right, yeah, that's what I was
Fan
reading it on
fan people might have it up in like the
further.
50s or something.
Got it, got it. But yeah, so I did do that, and but I am enjoying that show. Talk about another like world that it dives you in, that you dive into and you kind of like just are immediately immersed. That show is very interesting. But I mean, it has a high it has big shoes to fill because of his predecessor.
Yeah. I mean, well, in Japan, there was actually one in between. She wrote a manga called Silver Spoons, which was about I mean, this is so different. It was about a college student who went to an agricultural college to learn how to be a farmer, and it did really really well in Japan, you know. But this is definitely more like in the realm of Full Metal for sure.
Yeah. And I'm getting that
Oh, you're
vibe.
talking about okay,
Yeah,
okay,
Demons of the
Demons of the
Shadow
Shadow.
Realm.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. So for those listening too, there's this new we were just highlighting on another show that we're watching called Demons of the Shadow Realm, and it's by the same creator of Full Metal Alchemist. For those that are fans of Full Metal Alchemist, and there's a lot of things that I see that are callbacks. Even the girl with the chomp chomp beast and like her wearing that red robe, and so
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
that,
yeah.
so but yeah, it's like the same thing Ed wears. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I'm really are you like further ahead in the manga? Like are you
I picked it up and then I the website I was using, I think it shut down, so I stopped it, so I couldn't read it, but I started over again.
okay?
So I'll probably be caught up in the next couple weeks or so, or days, depending on how I
Okay.
feel.
Okay, cool, cool. Once this season wraps up, we should probably even have an entire episode talking about it.
It's going two cores, so it's not gonna. So
Oh, it's gonna be
it's going.
half of it first.
Yeah, so it's gonna be over by September, probably.
Okay, all
So
right,
24 weeks. If it's going through the spring and the summer cores, then yeah, it should be done by September.
all right. So yeah, so let's do it.
I
We can
love when they
plan.
do that. By the way, I just need to chime in. I love when they do the whole 24 episodes. It's so fire.
I like
Love
24
it.
episodes too.
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah, they're going to go 24. I'm almost positive that they're doing 24.
Awesome. Yeah. So we could plan for it. We could throw that on the agenda as well. I wanted to ask you guys, and I mean, OMW could weigh in. Nikki, if you feel you have a comment to weigh in on this, I definitely want to hear it, even just from your thoughts of what you've been hearing, online. But this was nominated for Best New Anime. I mean, it is up against, some heavy hitters as well. Takabi, I think, is also nominated for Best New Anime.
It is,
But
yeah.
yeah, but I wanted to ask you guys your opinions on why do you think that this show kind of like got that spot. And OMW, you can speak on your own experience from watching it, and Nikki, if you want to think, just what you've heard or the sentiment that you've heard about it.
Hmm. Well, I mean, from what you guys said, and from it probably got nominated because critically it's very good. I mean, I'm looking at Crunchyroll and it's got a 4.8, which is crazy, out of
Mhm.
88,000 ratings. So that's pretty awesome. And
Yeah.
that's probably a good reason why it got on this list. I think the way that the nominations work for Crunchyroll is like 70% is like a group of know-it-alls, and then 30% is popularity votes. So the people who came up with the with who nominated it probably saw critically that it's a critically acclaimed series, and maybe it deserves a little bit more love.
Mm. Okay. Okay. You know what? I think that that may be it too, because it is even watching it, it's, it has this amount of depth and maturity to the show, where I yeah, yeah, I can see kind of like it having a high critical score, or just, being critiqued in a high way. Uh but Dub, what about you? Why do you think maybe that this was reached nominations for best new anime?
Honestly, I think it's just like current anime hype. Like what anime looked like 4 years ago, 5 years ago, is not the same as what it is today. Like
Mhm.
now you have every random Joe Schmo trying to claim that they're an otaku or a weeb, and placing their votes on something that they've only seen 7 episodes of, and they've only seen like maybe 15 animes in their whole entire life, and they think that it's the best thing since sliced bread. But hey, no, which by all means, please place that vote, um, and hope to see you around next year to see how much your anime knowledge has expanded, because I think they might realize that there are other shows out there that smack just a little bit harder.
Mhm. So wait, are you saying you think that this show was more so on the popularity side, or?
I think this is all just from anime hype, and it just caught the wave of like what's popular and good right now. Because for it to have that many reviews,
Mhm.
um, I'm not sure if you guys noticed, but like over the past 2 years, the review count.
Uh I think we Dub, you still there? I think you're rugging a bit.
Mic check,
Okay, we
mic
got you
check.
back. Yep, we got you back.
Okay, okay. Like 3 4 years ago, right? Like when you would go on Crunchyroll and see what's popular and what's
We I lost you again.
mic check, mic check.
Yep,
Does this work?
gotcha. Mhm.
Okay. Hopefully that is the last of my technical difficulties.
No worries, no worries.
Also, before we go, the live doors are ending in less than 1 minute. We currently have door number 3 in the lead. There's only 3 votes, so tap in and select which door you would like to win. Um, yeah, like 3 4 years ago, you would check out the reviews and see what's a good anime. And if it had, 2,000 reviews, 5,000 reviews, you would know like, okay, this has been watched by a decent amount of people, compared to now you're seeing things with, 150,000 views, 250,000 votes, like when, how, and it all happened over the course of like 3 months, and I'm like, there's no way. So I think it's just catching that hype wave, getting that like recommendation and being shot up on the algorithms, and people are just catching it, in the
Well,
semi class.
I
Yeah.
will say that this show has been recommended by a lot of influencers. That's how I discover. I mean, I found out about the show before its nomination, but I kind of like just I think it was either a glass reflections video or a mother's basement video, one of the two. But I found it out from just just animes to watch or recommended shows, and this was one that I kept seeing in a lot of different recommendations as far as to check out. So, but I don't. But here's the thing, bro. Like I still feel like it's low key a sleeper though because I mean yeah, it's getting attention now.
I was just looking at the reviews.
Uh huh.
So some of the new series nominees are on Netflix, so I can't look at the ones there.
Mm-hmm.
But what was the gotcha? How do you say it?
Gachakuda?
Gotcha,
Got,
Yakuda.
yeah. So compared to the reviews compared to that one, it is 234,000
Mm-hmm.
for that anime compared to the 88,000 for
For Clevatess.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I do feel like it is a sleeper, and I do think, I mean, 88,000 is still a lot, and Taco Peas only has 66, but I do feel like Clavitas and Taco P were definitely critical nominations rather
Yeah.
than just popularity nominations.
Yeah. I think so too. I think Gachakuda was more of a because that show was pushed. Like that show I didn't find out about that show from
That
like
that show
random
was pushed.
YouTubers.
That manga has a lot of discourse going around it right now. That author
Mm-hmm.
has a lot of discourse going around it right now. So seeing it on the list is not super surprising.
Yeah, yeah. Um So yeah, no, and that's once again another one I want to cover because I am wrapping up on that as well. But interesting. I I like the show because once again I think it does something very unique with the whole even just well once again the storyline right is immersive and I can see this world being built out for multiple seasons, going down the line if they end up, animating it and turning it into an anime. I know that the manga is pretty lengthy, but also even just what they're doing with this whole capturing that nostalgia, so to speak, with just the feel of the show. And at first, I didn't know how I would feel about that, but they do it in a way where it's just interesting. And you talk about even as far as just with the gore and stuff like that, it brings me back to to your ninja scroll and things like that, especially with the animation flips. And I just thought that that was very unique, right? That was a thing that I thought was it made me say, all right, let me just check it out. Then I checked it out and I'm like, I actually am really like invested in this world. I'm invested in the characters. I think it has a lot of depth and realism to the world. You feel for the characters. I can't say that there's anyone. No, there's a few people that are like, jerks. But like even the main villain is kind of like you see parts of him that you're
Multi
like, yeah,
multifaceted.
exactly, so the characters are very, well built out, and so is the world, and it makes me, really want to dive further in. I will say, in all honesty, and you were talking about fantasies, right? And I know, like, Freerun isn't a dark fantasy, but when it comes to like looking at the world, I feel like I'm a lot more interested in this world than I am in the world of Freerun. Um, but this is, it feels like a much more perilous world, and there's more, it's just,
Well, that's kind of the point,
yeah.
right?
But yeah, just on the tone of kind of like the whole fantasy approach. So, but I'm enjoying it. I do hope it takes home an award. I think that that's the only thing that it's nominated for, best new series, and
Yeah, I
it
didn't see it in any place else, I don't think.
yeah, and that is going to be honestly a hard one to take because of its competition. But um I mean, we'll see. We'll see. What is it up outside of Takapi? What else is it up against? Those were the main two that I was looking
I
at.
can tell you.
Okay.
Okay. The Fragrant Flower
Sakamoto
Blooms with
Days.
Sakamoto
Yes.
yeah.
days. Oh, okay.
Sakamoto Days, the summer Hikaru died, and the Fragrant Flower Blooms with Dignity, which
Okay.
was very popular.
And
Okay.
Gachi Kuda.
Yeah. Yeah. Um. Dang. Who do y'all okay? Who do y'all think is gonna win that? Well, actually, let me ask you a question. Who do you want to win it, and who do you think is gonna win it? Because those could be two totally different answers.
I want Fragrant Flower to win, but I
Okay.
think Gachi Akuda's gonna win.
I think the same with Gashikuda. OMW. What do you think?
I want Gachi Kuda to win.
Hmm.
Yeah, I want Gachi Kuda to win, but I think Sakamoto Days might take it.
Over Gashikuda. Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
I mean
it's
that
just
that that was
it
very
had a little bit
popular.
more lead time, and then it was heavily pushed on Netflix as well.
Okay. Okay. Um, I actually think out of all of them, I would say I think I want Clevatess to win. Out of them, Gotcha
And who do
Kuda
you
and who
think's
else?
gonna win?
I think Gotcha Kuda's gonna win.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um. But you know what it is too, because I'm watching both. But I'll tell you what, I actually stopped watching Gotcha Kuda to watch Clevitis, and then I didn't stop
Mm.
watching Clevitis. I watched the whole thing, and now I'm back to what finishing up Gotcha Kuda. And I think
Bro,
the
when he was swinging the plunger full of poop, bro, I was dying. Oh my goodness.
it has some funny moments. It definitely has some funny moments. But it like I don't know, just certain things kind of took me out. And then, I had like once again, like I didn't that wasn't a show I just watched all the way through. I had to stop and now I'm just getting back into it because I obviously want to review it before the Crunchyroll Awards.
Gachi Akuda's nominated for like 9 awards.
For a
It's
lot,
crazy.
for a lot, yeah. Um but yeah, I mean we'll see. We'll see what the awards say. But all right. Dub, how are we doing on the doors?
The doors are wrapped up.
Oh, snippety snap. All right. Do we have a
We
door that was
have
chosen?
a door. It is door number 3.
Door number 3. All right. And were you able to send that in text as far as what the translations?
Yes, indeed.
Okay, let's see. Let's see. All right. Ooh, okay. All right. So, I'm going to do that in just a second. And in the meantime, what I'll do is let me solo on it, Nikki. All right. So you had mentioned a specific show that you wanted to win for best new anime,
Oh yeah, Fragrant Flower Blooms
Fragrant
with
Flower Promo.
Dignity.
Okay. All right.
Hmm.
While I go and pull up the thing on my end, can you just tell us a little bit about that show and why that's your pick?
Well, cause I mean, I like romance, but it's a very popular shonen romance story about a a very prestigious all girls school that's right next to a very delinquent all boys school, and two students from the two schools fall in love with each other, and it's kind of almost kind of like a Romeo and Juliet thing without the murder suicide. Um, but they kind of bring both of the boys and girls together because they kind of hated each other at first, and they all like between the two who start a relationship, the other students become friends, and it's very sweet, and it's very pretty. It's got really great animation, and I think the characters are designed really well.
Okay. How many episodes for is this
13.
13, and is
13.
this one like one and done or are there going to be multiple seasons?
I don't know. I haven't heard anything, so I'm thinking maybe one and done. I know the manga's still going though.
Okay. All right. Cool. Cool. Well, there you have it. Something else to look into. And maybe if it's only 13 episodes, maybe we can did you want to I know you had mentioned Apothecary Diaries. Um
I think Apothecary Diaries would
better
be a
thing
better
to do.
topic. Yeah,
Okay.
because it's Apothecary Diaries is freaking a light novel and a manga and an anime, and voice actress. I think she won. I think she might have won last year for Japan, but I can't remember.
Oh snap! All right. Well then I got a lot of catching up to do because I'm gonna do that. And then I guess I'm gonna have to. Dang, I'm gonna have to put ReZero on hold. I'm really enjoying ReZero.
We have breaking news.
Oh
Uh oh.
snap! What's that?
We have breaking news. Because of this show, Anime After Hours, we have converted a a regular person into an anime fanatic, quote unquote fanatic. The
Really?
one and only O'Milly Tees said, "You guys turned me into a solo leveling fanatic. I'm watching YouTubers break down episodes."
Oh
That's
snap!
dedication.
That
Yay!
is dedication. I
There
love
you
to see it.
go.
Thank you for
There you
tapping
go.
in to Anime After Hours, the interactive podcast hosted by the one and only Emoji with the one and only Nikki G as the co-host. Bringing the anime goodness to all streaming platforms near you.
That's awesome. And I just want to touch on that real quick on Dub because that's one of the biggest things that I enjoy, right? Because everyone starts somewhere, right? And everyone has their first anime, and they have the first thing that hooks them. And sometimes people finally jump in, and then that you get that reaction, and I just love it. It's one of those things where you say you can experience things for the first time through someone else's lens, right? And for me, I'm very much like that. Like I like sharing the things that I love with other people. So when people like kind of like discover something new or even just discover anime on a whole and they're kind of like, "Oh, I'm glad I gave this a chance," or I really like this, then that I love that. I love that. So yeah, Millie, I'm glad you're enjoying solo leveling. Definitely, if you like that show, definitely feel free to tap into some of these other ones that we're recommending too, because
AKA
they
Blue Lock. No, he needs to watch Blue
Blue
Lock,
Lock.
bro.
Okay.
He needs to watch it. Yeah, he likes football. So
Yeah. Oh, that is true. He is a big football fan. But yeah, and they cover different storylines, different types of genres, for different demographics. So anything that you could possibly be into, right? You can find a story that touches that in anime. So yeah, I'm glad that you discovered something that hooked you, and I hope you continue to discover more. And everyone in the space, and everyone in the space. But but we're at that time about.
Mhm.
Are you guys ready to determine the winner for this giveaway?
Yep.
I think we are.
All right, all right. So once again, you guys, the audience, had to choose which door we entered into for tonight. And the door that was chosen was door number 3. Now, at the outset, I did explain what the different things behind the doors were. I will not do that again. That was explained at the outset. So, right now, we are going to roll the winner. If you feature your eyes to the live stream pinned to the top, you will see because we will be rolling that in real time. All right, countdown, countdown, countdown.
5, 4, 3,
And behind door number 3 was likes and reposts of the space. Likes and reposts of the X space. Once again, your PFP does have to be here in order to secure the victory. Otherwise, we will re-roll again. So, who we have up is Dr. Fidgetal in the building. Is Dr. Fidgetal in the building?
No, I think he left.
Oh, snap.
Dr.
Oh,
Figaro has left the building.
he
Sad. He
has
was here for a
left
good
the
section too.
He was here
building.
for a long time too. Poor guy.
Oh
He was
snap.
our first listener.
He was, but GG's, those are the rules. You do have to be here when your name is called. So we will roll again. Here we go.
5, 4, 3, 1.
And the next up is. All right. So I have it pinned to the top, but Dub, I know you guys are working out some new stuff in the chat. So I don't know if that's active yet or not. Um, but I will let you make that determination. Specific of cooldown rates.
Ooh.
Oh.
You know what, bro? This is gonna be the last week. This will be the last week of cooldown rates. So, whoever it is, GG. Just know
Oh
some
wait,
things may be changing.
hold on, 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 hold
I don't
on.
I don't see I don't see him.
We do have so Mr. Fidgetal wasn't in the space, but he's in the chat. He just popped up in the chat and said I'm here.
Brother, brother.
And we have our new one that popped up, Mahalo. Actually, you know what? Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's make them fight. Um, Dr.
Oh my
Fidgetal, can you
goodness.
can you come into the space real quick?
Yo, Mahalo,
And Mahalo,
Dr. Fidgetal,
is
just
Mahalo
know
still in the space?
Mahalo's in the space. Just
Oh
know we
We
snap.
have
can't miss that rooster.
Okay.
we got
We need both on stage. We need both on stage. If they don't come on stage, whoever comes on stage gets the giveaway. All right. We're gonna figure
listen,
this out.
me and Nikki got no parts in none of these giveaway shenanigans, y'all. Just so y'all know, ju- you know,
Dr. Fictional, I'm gonna need you off the live, and I'm gonna need you to come to the stage and send up the request. Let's see who we got on
we got
stage so far. We
Mahalo
got
up.
Mahalo on the stage. All right, Dr. Fictional, you do have to come to the stage, otherwise that win will go over to Mahalo. All right. He said he can't give it to Mahalo. Oh snap! Well, there you go. He just
Let's
he just
go.
gave it away. All right.
I'm here
Congratulations,
checking in.
Mahalo.
Congrats, congrats, congrats. Mahalo was good. Welcome, congrats. How are you?
Chilling, man, chilling. Listening to the space, doing some stuff on the side, but yeah, man, enjoying the space.
All
Nice,
right,
nice,
all right.
nice.
Well, do you think that you're gonna check out Clevatess now?
No, I'm watching One Piece.
Oh, you're gonna be watching that forever.
Yep.
What episode you on?
Just started the Alabasta arc, I believe. They just started running it
Oh, you
for.
early.
Yeah, I'm still not even 100 episodes in.
Okay. Yeah,
About
nah,
to though.
yeah, nah. You're it's yeah, no. I think that was a good arc. That was with what's his name? Actually, let me not say any names because I don't want to spoil anything. But no, I enjoyed that arc. But how are you liking it?
It's a grind right now, man. I feel intimidated, but we doing work. I need
It's
to catch up to One Piece. It's one of the top three. The Trinity.
Yeah, it is a grind. Like I feel like the further you get into it, the easier it is to continue watching it. Um and even for me, like I'm at the point where he just hit gear 2. So but even still it's kind of like yeah, like
Oh, speaking of
Bro,
Gear
have you guys
Two,
been seeing the covers from like
for
Absolute
Absolute
Batman
Batman, I
thank
and
did.
you.
I
Thank you
did.
Homage?
on my
I
way for
did.
taking my lightning, sir.
Oh, my bad, bro. My
I did see
bad.
that. I
I'll just
did
go
see
back and
that.
listen. I'll let y'all cook.
No, no, you're good. You're good. But yeah, no, I did see that. I did see that. So I love the anime references. I love the anime references. So that's dope.
Yeah, apparently it's been in like a bunch of covers. So it's nice to see that love.
Indeed, indeed, indeed. All right. So any other thoughts before we wrap things up? I don't know if I should get too divisive because we obviously have had a lot of back anger on the timeline with LARP and Logan. But I mean I don't I don't know if you guys want to cover that or if you want to just call it a day.
I'm down. Listen, I'm down. I'm down to cover some manga and some zeshis if you want to talk about manga and zeshis.
It's you know what it is. It's just it's interesting. I was talking to someone the other day about like I feel like Logan Paul is the ultimate heel, like in life. I feel like, and it's funny because he's in he's Nikki's laughing, but it's funny because he's in WWE, right, and he plays a heel, right. But I feel like he does that in everything in life, and
He did the same thing with a Pokemon card a couple
he
years
did.
ago, didn't he? Like $1 million on like a Charizard.
That wasn't even years ago. That was the illustrated card just sold like a few months ago.
Mm,
Did he split the
nah, nah.
ownership?
She's talking about two different things, brother. She's talking about the Charizard that she bought from the old guy that was a PSA
Oh yes, I
10.
remember that.
Yeah, Nikki, you're right. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, Logan is doing Logan things, and he's definitely antagonizing all of the
Yeah,
anime fans.
I'm just nervous because the collector scene right now is so horrible, especially in Pokemon cards. The scalpers are ruining everything
Hmm.
for everybody. I mean, a couple of years ago, I could get one of those like 6 packs for Pokemon for like $25, and now they're like 50. It's disgusting, and I just when I just and when influencers do stuff, they don't realize sometimes that
The
they make
effect it
things worse
has.
for everybody else.
Yeah, I saw that they had a obviously because of that you're gonna have people follow suit, and then there was a post that someone had like I guess Bleach like the first volume of Bleach selling for like
Hmm.
70K. Now obviously like people can put whatever price they want on it. It
Yeah,
depends on
yeah,
whether
yeah,
they
yeah.
people decide to pay for it or not. But
Hmm.
yeah, no, especially when you're getting to things that become very hard to get, they become a lot harder now,
Yep. Yeah,
especially with yeah.
absolutely. Especially with resellers, they're the absolute worst. I mean, they just price gouge everything and they make it so much harder for regular people to get anything.
Yeah, yeah. So that has definitely been a huge thing on the timeline. I've been seeing that. I've been seeing Speed, weigh, but that's another part too. Like Speed weighing in on Logan, saying you don't know anything about One Piece. Now, granted, right, Speed, is open as far as his love for One Piece and he's him being a One Piece fan and stuff. But that that's a whole other level of kind of like how it makes me wonder the back and forth, right? And how that kind of like brings more attention to it because all of this feels very WWE to me. All of this feels very WWE to me, and they're both in WWE. Like Speed was just wrestled at WrestleMania, but I did I did hear an interesting thing, right? And I want both you guys' take on this, right?
Hmm.
Um, Now everyone is championing Speed because he told Logan like you don't know anything about One Piece, what have you, right? And he's known as being this One Piece fan. Now, obviously, Logan is not a One Piece fan. He didn't even know the main character's name of One Piece. He called him Luffy D Monkey. Now, my question is this: if the roles were reversed, if it was Speed that that got these, this One Piece, the Shonen Jump magazine, I believe, right? And the Dragon Ball,
Yeah.
but specifically the One Piece Shonen Jump magazine. Do you feel the reception might be a little bit different? Do you feel that it's a lot of it is solely because of Logan? And if it
Yeah,
was, you do?
I think so. I don't. I think. I think he just has like a negative connotation when people just generally hear about him.
Hmm.
He's just like a cringe influencer guy.
He's a walking heel.
Yeah.
He's a walking heel. OMW, what do you think?
You see, I think that honestly, much respect to Logan and Jeremy Padewer for um, making this move and also making it public. Um, but I do understand where Nikki's coming from with like the scalpers going into the collector space now for some of these items. I actually just got a little delivery earlier today. Uh Man, my lady's gonna kill me. I got a nice little delivery today, but like a lot of these books that I'm trying to acquire, their prices have skyrocketed just
Hmm.
in the past like 35 days. You know,
Mm-hmm.
after March 1st, actually after March 6th, when Jeremy made that first post, uh, things have been moving. And remember, this is not financial advice. Please do your own due diligence. I'm just a collector, like collecting anime and manga that I really, really love. None of this is alpha. I'm a real, I'm a collector, y'all. This is what I do.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so like some of these books that I'm trying to get are just like leaving the realm of attainability for me, especially some of these um weekly shonen jump books. Like, man, man, oh goodness.
Yeah.
Fire book he got there. Fire book he got there.
Yeah.
Uh and I'm just curious to see what this is going to bring for the rest of the space moving forward. Like I have a I have the weekly shonen jump prototype of One Piece. It's like before it was One Piece um officially, and like now I can't afford to get another one. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's just gone, and I'm curious how long this is going to continue to be like this. Uh we have Nas coming up. I'm gonna bring him up real quick.
Okay.
Like I'm not sure how long this is gonna continue to be like this and how this is going to impact me as a collector of some of these items earlier on in the space. Like I've been collecting these things for like 5 6 years, and now it's slowly fleeting away. I'm glad I was able to amass a collection that I currently do have, and the space is still fairly young, so there's not a lot of eyeballs on it. Like that's why when we did our episode about graded manga last year, I was like, I'm glad it was in our small little space and not, 500,000 people looking at a post like they just did with Logan Paul, or millions of people looking at this post, and like millions of people, paying attention to what Jeremy's doing. And the other massive collectors in this space. It's just scary. It's just
Yeah.
scary. Nikki, you're right. Like you're 100% right. Like these these numbers, man. These
Well,
numbers are running.
the thing is
Mm-hmm.
too with with you OMW is you're a huge fan, right? So a lot of the things that you're getting is because there's a personal attachment to it, right? And I think one part that really rubs people the wrong way is obviously like Logan has no clue about about anime, right? It's literally like to pump his bags, but
But he grew up on anime, bro. How can we say that? How
bro,
how
bro,
can
he
we
said he
how can
said
we say
he
that?
said Luffy D Monkey.
Bro,
He said
you
I
don't
love
think
Luffy D Monkey.
now you don't think that was a troll, brother? In all honesty, I remember the day he
You
said it.
know what?
I
You know what?
remember the day he said it.
He is the
I,
world's greatest
you know what?
heel.
He might have grown
He
up with
might.
it, but I don't think he's in. I don't think he's in the spaces. I don't think he's like
I think
somebody
he
that's
grew up with the
watching
4 kids version.
Crunchyroll
I think he
every
grew up with
day.
the
I don't
4
think
kids.
he reads manga on the regular. I think he saw a something that was growing in popularity, and he wanted to get his hands on it.
Yeah, and if he did, I think he saw the 4 kids version. But let me jump over to Nas Clint because came on stage. Nas, what's up? How you doing, bro?
Yo, what's good, Emoji, Dubs, Nikki, Mahalo, everyone down there. Um,
What's up, Nas?
I,
What's up?
yeah, so I just wanted to kind of chime in on this topic specifically because I was that angry. I can't get my hands on what I want anymore because I'm getting priced out.
Mm-hmm.
But but, and I'm gonna attest this to Vivi too because it's helped me kind of take the situation in, not complain about something I can't control, and just kind of go with it. And what I
Mm-hmm.
mean by that is because I'm gonna tell this is for something for OM Dubs too, because it was because of me collecting stuff that I loved before it all happened, and now all of this hype happened. I can't do it as much as I did before because it's not as affordable.
Mm-hmm.
But for anyone that is doing it early enough, like I liquidated some of my collection, not all of it, some of my collection, and I've heard many stories of people like myself uh, gone through the collecting when they were young, and they have made 30, 40, 50, $60,000 on their collection to help provide for their current situation.
Mm-hmm.
So with OM Dub's move and his passion, and now the masses are coming in, and it's getting more eyes and things like that. Yes, it
Mm-hmm.
affects us and our passion of collecting right now, but hindsight after it, once all of that comes in, the value of all of this stuff, it becomes it becomes something to move that passion into whatever we are in that point in time. And that's why, as far as the collecting goes, like, the truth is, like, after looking over it, like, literally, like, the last over year and a half, 2 years, like, scalpers are everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
From sneakers, because I used to be a sneakerhead back in the day. I used to have my dunks. I still have my favorite pair of dunks till this day that didn't get lost in the storage. My
What pair?
Nike SB Gibson, the pink fur. And
Fire. Fire.
bro, I used to have the freaking Heinekens. I used to have the Tiffany's, all the original SBs
You had
back.
Tiffany's?
I had Tiffany's. That shit got lost in the
Oh my.
storage.
Oh my
Um,
goodness.
yeah, and at the time I was considering pulling the trigger on What the Dunks. There's a New York artist named Hayes that I was big into, but anyways, that's in the past.
Mm-hmm.
So again, a lot of that collecting today, yeah, they may not be purists, they might not be people who are 100% fans of the IP, things like that. But when someone like Logan Paul, Speed, Mr. Beast, when Mr. Beast pumped out the tweet that
One
he was
Piece. He was trying to watch
yeah,
One
he was
Piece.
watching One Piece, exactly. Like, that's all stuff as, like, fans that we like, because other people are going to start experiencing the joy that we've had with the IP, whatever it
Mm-hmm.
is. And then I'm just going to tell this, financial advice wise, like, yes, we can't buy the things that we currently want right now, but just create other moments and memories from it to enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it be manga, whether it be cards, whatever it is, because at the end of the day, more people are going to be exposed to it. More people will want to talk about it, and that's what the passion, a lot of it, is about. Unless we just want to just keep it between us and just a handful of our friends, But then the IP never gets rewarded for it. They never get their recognition. They never get past whatever the small group that they have. Let them reap the rewards of all of this hype.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, financial advice wise, like, for me, I've picked my lane. I've come to terms with what I could afford and not afford. Um, and then if I get something that I like, but it's valuable, and I could move that into somewhere else that I like even more, or even more to provide for my family or kids. That's the fun part, and I get to do it all with you guys. So I appreciate you guys for that.
Appreciate you, Nas. Appreciate you, Nas. Yeah, and I hear that too. But here's the one thing that I thought was very interesting, right? About the how this broke out on a timeline, and I think a part of that has to do with because obviously grading has existed for a while, especially when it comes to comic book grading, right? But I think a large portion of why this hit so hard has to do with the audience of people that are into manga in relation to people that are into comic books and things like that, right? I don't know if this backlash existed for comic book grading, right? Like, I mean, and you guys can correct me if if I'm wrong, but I feel like with the whole CGC thing and grading and things like that, I don't feel like there was this much backlash with the idea or the concept that there was that I've been seeing in relation to manga. And I think a large reason for that is because of the emphasis that's placed on reading the manga, right, and
Yeah,
experiencing the stories.
and I mean, like,
Nikki. Mhm.
manga doesn't really have, like, when you have comics, there's variant cover this, variant cover that, variant cover with by this person. Manga really doesn't have that because it's all done like, it's just they just you put it out. I mean, there are like for instance, Kinokuniya can sometimes have their own covers for manga that are
Hmm.
different than the main. Kinokuniya is a very pop. It's a Japanese bookstore that has a couple of stores throughout America. They have one in New York City. They have one here in Jersey, and because they're like they have Japanese books, like the actual Japanese versions of the books. They also get special deals where they can have their own versions of manga covers. So I guess that's the only variant that I can think of. But I mean, manga is printed on cheap paper. It's glued. The spines are glued together. It's not like when they were coming out. I mean, they yellow super easily, and it wasn't even like a thought. I think in a lot of our heads that like we're gonna put it in a piece of plastic. We read it. I mean, some people even color in their manga because it's
I've
it's
seen
just
that
some.
before. I've seen that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. It just was never even an idea to me to grade a book like that. Just not even a thought.
Yeah. So I am interested to how this plays out, right? Because at the end of the day, the someone has to determine as far as the value, especially when it comes to the fandom. And I wonder, because this reaction is very different from what I've seen, even when it comes to comic books or even trading cards and stuff like that. I wonder how this reaction long term may play a toll on how big this becomes. I don't know. Maybe this is just a gut reaction and it settles over time, and manga ends up being kind of like the the same way with with comic book grading and trading card grading and stuff like that. Or maybe this gut reaction is something that you see that ultimately happened in the NFT space, right? Where people just rejected it. I don't know, but I do think it's very, very interesting how this is all unfolding. And I honestly think one of the biggest reasons on why it's coming together like this is because it's Logan. I feel if this was Speed, it would it would it wouldn't be as
Man,
crazy as it
it's
was.
not it's
But
not about Logan. It's not about
I
Logan,
feel it's
bro.
all Logan's fault, bro. I feel it's all Logan's fault.
It's not about Logan. Logan might be a little bit of fuel to the fire for
Mhm.
sure. I get that. But brother, I'm telling brother,
Mhm.
this has been happening for a month and a half straight.
Mhm.
Since March 6th, things have been moving. And it's not just Logan, because Logan has been buying quietly for 3 months,
Mm.
right? This is man, listen. Okay,
You're saying this
last
this was inevitable. This was inevitable.
it's not that it was inevitable, right?
Mhm.
Once someone large enough, once a big enough collector circle found out about it, it started taking waves, right?
Mhm.
And now I know you said that, people might not care about it, and Nikki's a perfect example of why I personally love collecting manga the way I do.
Mhm.
Is because I know a lot of the people who read the manga don't care about it. They're not going to take care of it. Like in Japan, they might leave it on the train for the next person to read the issue because they're done with it. You know, um, little things like that. I know that they're not valued by most people, but it's something that I value personally,
Mhm.
especially like for these shows that really hit home with me. I want some of that original content where it came from, right? And like, bro, I can't find a Demon Slayer. I can't find a Demon Slayer, first print Takoban for under $400 anymore.
Yeah.
When 7 months ago you were able to get it for $50, bro. $50.
Mm.
You know, like I I can't I can't find the Weekly Shonen Jump of Demon Slayer anymore. You know, like it's crazy. like now I'm going to now I'm going to other methods that I'm hoping other people aren't paying attention to right now. And if they are, GG, because like I'm already seeing that they're paying attention to it. Like
Hmm.
they're on heritage auctions. They're on they're on, Golden. They're on these bigger places. And it's just a start. It's just a start. And one thing we have to remember is like Jeremy's thinking long term. He's not thinking in 3, 6 months, what these values are gonna be worth. He's thinking in the next 15, 20 years, what are these values going to be worth? Remember, this is not financial advice. Please do your own due diligence and buy what you love responsibly. Um, Long term plays. So,
Yeah, I mean, and but that's the thing. You bring up a good point because even comic books initially weren't meant to be preserved for a long period of time. They were meant to be bought. You read them, you throw, you chuck them, right?
yeah, people
And
hated grading when it came out in the early 2000s. They
yeah.
hated it.
So that was my question, right? Because I didn't know the reception that it got when it initially came out. So you would say the same? Would you say it was just on the same scale or level that you're seeing the backlash from manga enthusiasts or manga fandom that you saw back when grading became a thing for like Marvel and DC comics and stuff like that?
You see, I'm not 100% sure because I wasn't collecting back then in those days.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Mondo might be a better person to ask in like another show or another stage, or if he can give us some insight on that we can cover in our next episode.
Shout out
Um,
Mondo in the space.
shout out Mondo in this space.
Yay!
Shout out Mondo for always holding it down and showing the VV fam some love. Whenever we go to these conventions, shout out Mondo for drawing a sketch in my book year after year, year after year, baby. Sheesh.
Yo, Mondo, he hung out with me while I played Witcher 3 on live stream and just we just chatted and talked
Oh,
while I was
really?
playing Witcher 3. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Dope, bro. Mondo's such a cool person, man. Like, shout out to this space. There's nowhere like VV that you get to connect with these dope artists, and just like have a chat, a genuine chat, find out how they're doing, see what they're going through in life, and you know, and connecting.
Definitely, definitely. But yeah, so like I said, we'll see. Obviously, we'll see how things play out as time unfolds. And yeah, I just thought it was really interesting the gut reaction. But once again, this I do feel that a lot of what Logan is doing is for the added attention, right? Because if you didn't know that that people are grading mangas, you do now. So I do think that is deliberate. Um, but we'll see how things plan out. But it does look in that direction. You can see obviously these iconic books are being more and more scarce, harder to find, harder to attain, even if you do find them. So we'll see how that all plays out. But it is interesting. It is interesting. All right. So, I mean, we pretty much covered all the bases that I was planning on talking tonight, unless anyone had any other thoughts before we close up.
No, I'm good.
I think I'm ready to say goodnight.
Okie dokie. All right. So, with that said, I want to take the time to thank everyone here in the space. Actually, we will close out the space with a song, as we normally do, from Nikki. Nikki, do you have a preference?
No, you can play whatever you want.
Okay. All right. So we'll close out a song. But in the meantime, I want to thank everyone that came through. Appreciate you guys. My name is Emoji. I'm here with my co-host, OMW, Nikki G, and this has been another episode of Anime After Hours, where we're covering all
Yay!
things anime. And specifically today, we talked a lot about Clevatess, the one of the nominees for the Crunchyroll Awards. We will have future episodes covering different shows that are nominated. So stay tuned. We will be back again Thursday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the pre-show, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the main show. Everyone in the space, stick around. We will close out to one final song from our co host, Nikki G. But everyone in Streamland, appreciate you guys for joining. Until next time, take care, be easy, and peace.